See, gonna go ahead and do this. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it at this time because I think it's gonna do enough damage to kill him. Yeah, it's gonna do enough damage to kill him. I think I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go ahead and pop this. Yeah, it's gonna be enough damage. Now it's not the amount of dirge bullets that I wanted, but we're doing too much damage as it is. So we have those. Yeah, and you could just see the amount of damage. Absolutely popping off. Renoa is so fun. All right, fam, we got another pretty nasty setup along our run here. So I wanted to go ahead and showcase this as well. So I'm gonna pop these off. I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna pop this off. And now we got a bunch of dirge bullets here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off as well. I don't know how many more. Maybe one more dirge bullet there. Gonna go ahead and pop this off. And now we have 2 cards here. I'm going to use the Last Ditch Assault. I'm going to wrap them up there. Pretty. That's some pretty decent damage right there, if I do say so myself. Now I could have popped the Carity as well to be able to do more dirge bullet damage. But you could essentially see what we're going for when it comes to the type of damage that we're doing and the setups that we're going for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. Now, in my last video, I went ahead and did some pulls, got to the 300 selector, and I chose a dupe of Renoa over a Khalif, Magna, or Leia, or Hugo. And a lot of people were saying I made the wrong decision. Now, I wanted to go ahead and showcase and show that I made the absolute right decision because E2 Renoa absolutely pops off. Super satisfying, incredibly strong. So I did want to go ahead and showcase that in today's video. So if you do enjoy today's video, go ahead and drop a like. Sub if you're new, join the FDG fam. I would love to have you stick around. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. And really quickly, before we do hop in as well, I saw the live stream. Massive shout out to the developers supporting content creators and getting them on board. I hope to see more of that in the future, and I hope they diversify the amount of content creators they bring on. Different content creators, different CCs, to be able to go ahead and get different perspectives. But massive shout out to the CCs that were on there, all great CCs, and I think this is a really good look. Anyways, before we also do hop in, I did want to go ahead and showcase what the dupes were really quickly. Hopefully you can see this. Massive shout out to Pridewin. I have this linked in the description down below. But for the first dupe, essentially the Last Ditch Assault card is a retain card, and when you have the first ego, you're going to increase the amount of damage you do with the dirge bullets that you use with the Last Ditch Assault card. And we'll hopefully showcase that here in just a second. And then the E2, for every 4 dirge bullet cards created, create 1 dirge bullet finale card instead. Essentially, we're going to be able to do more damage. So that is E1 and E2 for Renoa. Incredibly strong, in my opinion. Once again, I want to go ahead and showcase that. We do have our ult ready. The name of the game is to get a massive amount of dirge bullets and pop them all off, and once again, it's super satisfying. Oh, we do have the Last Ditch Assault card here. So Last Ditch Assault, once again, it's a retain card, so you hold on to this until you can get that perfect setup, and then you pop it. 197% damage, discard all dirge bullets, and 70% damage for that amount. So we're gonna hold on to this until we can get that setup. I'm gonna go ahead and use the gear bag. Love gear bag. We're gonna go ahead and use this. Essentially, we're just trying to get the right cards that we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that off. Instant Judgment, pretty nice. I'm gonna go and upgrade. Go ahead and upgrade. Got a pretty decent monster card there. Gonna go and pop this. Now the only part that sucks with this boss is that he freaking takes your card, so you got to get your cards back. He always tends to take the card that I need. We got a nice Echo of Sorrow here, so we're gonna definitely use that. Gonna pop this off here. Gonna give us 3 dirge bullets, which is really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up. Use this here, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and discard all those dirge bullets so we can set up a nasty play. Now I will showcase my equipment. That's pretty decent damage right off the bat. I'm going to show off my equipment that I have for Renoa here in just a second. That was a good card that they took. Let me go and do this. I guess we'll get the epiphany on this, right? Nice. Use that. And I guess we'll pop this off. Once again, Renoa's already doing some pretty nasty damage here. And we're getting some nice extra attacks in. I don't want to... This guy keeps taking my cards. This is a pretty good setup here. I'm not gonna lie. He took my last ditch assault card, which is unfortunate. But this is a pretty good setup here because I can do this, grab all those dirge bullets. I could do this, grab all those dirge bullets. I'm not gonna be able to showcase the last. This is a pretty good setup because I could pop Carity right now. I can actually pop all these ults. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna pop Carity because Ray's about to get broken down here. I'm gonna pop Carity. I'm gonna pop Ray. Might as well, right? It's a pretty decent setup here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Renoa. And this is essentially, so what you would want to have in this situation right now is the last ditch assault card right here. I wish that was it. You would want that card here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. You can see good break, decent damage. And then we're gonna pop these off. This is where the satisfying part of Renoa comes in. Absolutely pop off. That's some pretty good damage. Renoa is insane. The E2 is insane. Renoa is insane. I believe this was difficulty 7 in Zero system. Renoa is nasty. What I would want to do here is actually grab another one of these to have, because with the E1 you want to have the last ditch assault. Okay, so this is my Renoa currently. Once again, I can get that crit chance a bit better, but she's level 60. Not a bit better, a lot better. Here are the cards. Partners, I got Carity. I think Carity is pretty good when it comes to Renoa, but I would definitely want to get a better partner, level it up. For the save data, I have some decent ones. This is my 55,000 one. This one's pretty decent. I actually like this one a good bit because we have the Outbreak of War on this Dirge Bullet, so we make sure that we're getting Dirge Bullet all the time. The aim fire is pretty nice as well. It does some good damage, and we have 2 Flower Devoured Fate. That's going to give us a lot of Dirge Bullets right there. And then we were able to get a Divine Epiphany on this one, which is pretty nice. I got one recently. Actually, that was the recent one that I got, which was a pretty decent one. I also have this one right here. 2 quick draws, pretty decent, right? I got a lot of other cards here. It's just, unfortunately, I need more cards that are going to provide more Dirge Bullets. That's essentially what we're looking for. So that's why I like this one a lot, because of the Dirge Bullet guaranteed, and then the 2 Flower to Defeat. Those are the ones that really stand out to me. This one's pretty decent as well, because we do have the monster card here. We do have the quick draw. We have essentially everything that we need. 3 Dirge Bullets there. The ideal would have 2 Echoes of Sorrow and 2 Flower of Devoured Fate, but the problem is that the save data is just, it's not allowing us to get that. It's a bit unfortunate. Like, it'll give me one or the other, but it won't ever give me both, except in this situation. I got 2 here. This is actually a pretty nasty one, I'm not gonna lie. 2 Echoes of Sorrow, 2 Devoured Fates, monster card. This is a pretty good one. It just threw in these 2 basic cards at the end. If it didn't have those 2 basics and I was able to get a replicate on this last ditch assault, this one would be absolutely solid. Let me equip this one. That one's pretty good. Anyways, those are the decks. You know, I'm always working on Renoa's deck to get the perfect deck. I'm hoping with the update we're gonna get improvements on that. Here's the potential. Need to work on that, fill that out. Here is the current set that I have on her. I went with the void set and with the attack set. There's definitely different ones that you can go for. This is one I went with. And then once again, the E2, pretty nasty, right? I got the E1 doing the pulls for the 300 selected, getting up there. Got a copy, and then I just went ahead and got another one because Renoa highly invested into, and she's paying dividends for me. So anyways, that is the video. Just wanted to go ahead and show that it was not a bad mistake, in my opinion. It was a good choice, and I'm happy with my decision. Anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.